Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we are checking out Tower of Fantasy. Now, if you're like, wait a minute, most of the time you check out games that are coming out soon, Tower of Fantasy hasn't been out for a while? Yes, you're right. Tower of Fantasy released at least on Steam in October of 2022, so it's approaching its anniversary, right? However, it is getting ready to release on PlayStation. And I kind of want to take a look at Tower of Fantasy anyway and hope that these trailers give me a decent idea of it, because Tower of Fantasy is, I believe, it is a free-to-play game with some mobile monetization elements involved. Gotcha, okay? And Tower of Fantasy came out like a little bit after Genshin Impact did, but before Honkai Star Rail did, and it's most comparable to MiHoYo's products in terms of what the art style looks like and the general vibe that you get from it. I guess that we also have the competitors that exist now in the form of like Punishing Gray Raven and the upcoming Wuthering Waves. And there's some other games in that same relative design space of these like really high quality, really beautiful to look at 3D anime style, like almost cell shaded graphic style games. And like I've asked some people that I know that play Tower of Fantasy to like describe it, and they're terrible at describing it. I still have no idea what this game is. I've rated friends that they've played the game since it released, and I'm like, so does it work like this? And they're like, well, kind of. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean kind of? Is it an action game? Kind of. Okay. I still don't know. I would like to play it someday, but I will admit that right now Honkai Star Rail devours a whole lot of the time when I would otherwise be playing Tower of Fantasy. But we have a lot. If you can see those little tabs up at the top, we got a lot. So we have the original announcements of like the teasers and the launch trailers and stuff like that. And I grabbed a few of the trailers of things that are along the way. So like this is the 1.0 update trailer. We have a 2.0 update trailer because the game has been evolving and developing as it goes, and they're preparing for 3.0, or maybe 3.0 is already out. Yeah, so I don't know how much of this is going to be like helpful for my purposes, but strap in, we're going to be here a little while, and let's do exactly what the name of this trailer says, which is embark together on your fantasy adventure. So here we go. This is the earliest trailer I could find, which is from March 15th of 2022.
Have crossed the galaxy and arrived at Ida to build a new era with our own hand. We claim to be the new gods and have built the Tower of Fantasy, raving omnium just like the stars.
That's some Midgar looking shit.
But this unstable gift destroyed the new era. The old days are now an illusion, and a new world is coming.
Got some like witch time effects, like Bayonetta style. I love the way these games look.
My cherished wish is about to come true.
You're evil, ain't you?
Welcome to the new world.
What did you do? What did you do? All right, we're just going to keep rolling. This is the pre-registration trailer from June of 2022. Oh no. Not a climbing simulator. Not climbing mechanics. I have a circular stamina wheel that's green. I'm gonna poop myself. I'm really actually kind of disappointed with how much Breath of the Wild has seeped into every single other game in existence. You're cool. That's a lot of wolves.
Fantasy. Pre-registration is now live.
That didn't tell me a whole lot, but this is the worldview trailer. Who am I? Why am I here? To beat ass.
But calamity is not without hope. But mortals are puppets of desire.
It makes me wonder what the story mode or the story progression of this game is like, because the story of like Honkai Star Rails, like I've been enjoying it a lot.
I don't have much time left to seek. Don't let me become one of those things, please.
Surely, I can't. I just can't.
What's the worldview we're going for here? That better be a boss fight.
I'm waiting for you. Come on, Wanderer.
Ah, is that what they call you? The Wanderer? Boy, does this character not just look like the Traveler? Like this blonde person in the front, does that not just look like the female Traveler from frickin' Genshin Impact? Did you guys, is this not just a frickin' Paimon clone? Like, wow, are a little blatant. Like, this just looks like the Traveler. And no, this doesn't look like Paimon, but it's not very far off. Similar size, proportions, little dirt pixie haircut. What the fuck, guys? Okay, anyway, here's a battle scene trailer, and this is from July of 2022. Look at all of our sexy anime ladies. Do you want to spend money so you can play as them? Well, now I'm kind of curious about how the character structure works. And the reason that I say that is because, like, one of the things that I found a little bit disappointing about Genshin Impact is, like, all of the spear users use the exact same attack animations. All of the rapier style characters use the exact same attack animations. And that's largely why all of Genshin Impact characters are, like, relatively speaking, the same relative, like, size and build, because they all have to fit into the same animation skeleton, right? And, like, I understand that that's really good for development and development costs, but it does mean that, like, if a new character comes out who is a hammer user or whatever, outside of their specials and stuff, it's not going to feel on the baseline level of mashing the basic attack button. It's not going to feel much different than the hammer character that you already have. But I'm not sure how this game even functions still. This is the character trailer from July of 2022. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Here's the characters you can gacha for. I'm guessing. I don't actually have any idea.
Don't approach me or talk to me unless you like the ocean.
Okay.
Will memories melt and fade like snow?
How do you know it's a weeaboo gacha anime game? Because we zoom in on the crotch and then the boobs and then zoom out a little bit for their face.
Both making and solving problems.
fists and weapons are my chips. You can decide how much they're worth to you.
Those who are optimistic and smile often tend to be more successful.
Look. Fucking toss his swords away and then was like, I'm not catching them. They'll just re-manifest on my pack. They're like, look, got some crazy looking abilities in here.
Healing the wounded is my job, and I'm very serious about it. I think I had a dream. I saw a lot of things in this dream.
Aren't you the one that was strapped up to all the cables? Yeah.
Power of Fantasy. Pre-registration is now live.
I mean, okay. We're gonna keep going. This is the creative gameplay trailer. You make your own customizable character. Change your outfit around. You get some different mounts. You get some different things. These are the different like mounts that you can get. Okay. You can explore the world. There's stuff to do in it. Like some jumpy puzzles. Rail shooters. You can take pictures. Is this with friends or people in your party? Like characters that you have access to? Because like I think you only play as one character, and when you, I don't know if you switch to the other characters when you get them, kind of like you can have like 4 people in a party in Genshin Impact and there's just a character switch button, or if like how that works necessarily. This is the shared open world trailer from August of 2022. Okay, so other people are around. These are other players, though. So you are always only controlling one character, which I mean is to be expected with an action game. I'm just going to keep rolling here. This is the launch trailer from August of 2022. You don't look so good, Nemesis. Oh.
I am not a monster. You always protect me. And now I want to protect all of you. The world is coming to an end, but the carriers of hope have arrived. Come on, Wanderer.
I thought she was about to just like fall off the very high spot that she was on.
Tower of Fantasy. Download now.
Oh no. Also, isn't there like a very similar shot to this one of the 2 travelers of the I can't remember the travelers' names, but the brother and sister traveler. Isn't there a very similar shot to this one in Genshin Impact's marketing, or at least there was? Anyway, so that's the launch. That was 1.0, and now we're moving into the updates. Before we go any farther, one thing I am going to say that I'm kind of disappointed by is that there just really wasn't a gameplay trailer, not in the way that I would have hoped. Like, there was a little bit here and there, but there wasn't a whole lot, again, explaining how this game bloody works. All right, so this is the version 1.5 Artificial Island new version update trailer from September of 2022. These just locations. The very first thing being called an arena, I thought that it was like going to be a feature, but like a new boss. Customizable home. Very cool. You know, it had a great, like, home customization system? WildStar.
Tower of Fantasy, a shared open world MMORPG.
Yeah, but what kind of MMORPG? So this is the actual 2.0 update trailer. Is that where the new map is? On the giant floating pyramid city? It is. Neat. You can get into a cab. Very cool. Okay. And this is the story trailer. Okay, I won't watch the story trailer for 2.0. So this is the raid trailer for 1.5, it looks like. 8-man raids. This is from September. How reliant are you on other people for this? Like, raids would give me the implication that, you know, it's really important that teamwork is executed properly to be effective enough to take down the boss. But when it comes to a lot of these games, like, I don't actually know how much teamwork you'd be able to execute, right? Like, can you heal other players in this game? Are there tank, healer, and DPS builds?
A shared open world MMORPG.
Or if someone was good enough, would they just be able to, like, skill check their way through the entire boss fight? This is the RTX gameplay reveal. I just want to see how much of a difference this makes, if it makes one. Yeah, looks pretty good. Those reflections on the ground are pretty darn solid. Oh, was that before? No. Okay. I was like, wow, the game already looks really good. See, like, that combat looks really, really cool, but I just still have no idea of, like, how customizable this combat is. how in-depth your abilities get, how important skill check is in this game. Like, it has such a feel of like a character spectacle fighter thing. Games like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Solstice, Final Fantasy 16. It has that general like feel and vibe from the combat, but I've not had anyone be able to tell me if that's accurate or not. Like, how many combos exist? What kind of combo structures exist? What kind of ability structure exists? How important is perfect blocks, perfect dodges? Is there a parry system in the game? How does all of that stuff work out? This is the version 3.0 Domain 9 new version preview trailer. This came out in May, at the end of May of this year.
Master Yu, as you command.
You said that very loud into that poor woman's ear.
We have the person you want. So... we will leave the rest to you.
That was a hell of a great wall. What else do we have in here? So that was Domain 9 in May, and then in June 11th, this is the new version update trailer, Domain 9 Sector. So we'll see if this is what this looks like. I think this is showing off the area and the environment.
A world clinging on to life. Like a flower on a withered tree. Life and death shan't vanish, for karma's grasp has taken hold. Life, like morning dew, gone before we see.
Pick that poor thing up by its wings. I realize it's dead, but...
in the universe, death has been foretold.
Oh, good job. Congratulations, you bought it like one more day of life, depending on what time of moth that is. Those moths and butterflies, once they turn into a moth or a butterfly, they don't live that long.
A dreamer's fate has long been sealed. In this world of unlike minds, words fall flat without empathy. Meetings, partings, not up to us. But I shall force fate to yield. To rewind the sands of time. Those gone no longer a memory. Many had doubted me, calling my deeds mere dreams. Used by others against me. They failed to see I'm on their side. Though our actions,
yeah, I'd start to be concerned if there's a bunch of like demon-looking ghost, like dark evil purple butterflies swarming the area. Yeah, I'd be concerned.
The world suddenly collapses. Danger far and wide.
Oh, well, that sucks. Summon the Avengers. Oh, good thing they suck. Oh, good thing you guys don't also die in one hit the way all the enemies have. Jesus. See, one hit. Good work.
The Scarlet Palace and Jade Halls, reduced to ashes and flame. Every being has its role, giving the world its marvel. Mother Nature knows no bias.
Oh.
Treating all life the same. The blame lies upon
Start squishing butterflies.
Sage advice ignored as garbage. Look back and stay true as a new era begins hither. From the mountains to the trees, nature bears endless hate, shedding blood and soul, only to die and wither. If they too can endure, so can the darkness control.
You think they might be evil? I feel like there's a very high chance that that person is evil. That's a story sneak peek that I don't want to watch, and the story unveiling that I don't want to watch. Okay, so that is the stuff from Tower of Fantasy at this point in time. So it has been on Steam for approaching a year now, and it has mostly positive reviews, 72% of 7,563 reviews being positive, although the more recent reviews only have 67% positive of 330, leaving it mixed. This person says not recommended with 730 hours played. There's a power gap between free-to-play and whales. In-game DPS roles are basically not for free-to-play. Constant power creep, boring lore and story. In-game events are mostly uninspired, boring minigames. Too much RNG and reliance on luck, from item drops to getting actual useful stats in some game mode, are too buggy that you need to be lucky to actually be able to compete. Okay. Barely any actual MMO content since release. Incompetent dev and publisher. This person with 12.5 hours says, hot women, thumbs up. Thumbs down. I don't even like Genshin, but just play Genshin at 9.5 hours. 3.1 hours. This game saved my life. I'm guessing they played it on a different platform. It was on mobile. But they probably played a little bit on Steam so that they were able to leave a review. 304 hours on record. I just returned to this game after leaving at 2.1. There's been lots of updates. The game's almost doubled in content. It's way more generous with gacha than Impact or Star Rail. The actual content is fun. Don't spend unless you have the money to spare. If you like big-breasted waifus in science fiction world, this game has you covered. You know, the problem is like, I just don't see anyone talking about the gameplay, because, like, so here's one of the other things that I had with Genshin Impact as well. I really love Star Rail, but Genshin Impact, one of the other issues, whoa, 1,300 hours. Yeah, it's pretty good. Congratulations to you, buddy. One of the things that I also had an issue with Genshin Impact is the combat didn't really grab me that much. And I kind of talked about that earlier with the way that a lot of the base animations for your attack combos were the same, depending on just which weapon you were using, right? But one of the other things is that if you didn't have a very, like, significant amount of power in your team, like, enemies were just health sponges. They weren't even difficult. You could very easily just, like, evade whatever you needed from them if you weren't being too aggressive with your gameplay, but they would just take beating after beating, even if you were playing into elements and elemental combinations, to where the game was really trying to get you to force your way into grinding for the ability to make your character stronger, and that just kind of sucked in a lot of ways. Let's see if we go into all of the reviews. A beautiful game ruined by its developers and transactions. Okay. Don't spend too much time on the game in the first week, because you will hate the game after that. Turn off DLSS or it crashes. Okay. Turn off DLSS or it crashes. Oh, okay. For game has a lot of bugs. This was posted all the way back in January. Gear is like artifacts from Genshin. Game started a bit monetized as all gacha does. Game is only becoming paid options. Events cater to whales. That's pretty normal, unfortunately, in these games. Okay. So I'm still looking for something about gameplay. Leveling. The game will not treat you nice. It will, however, try to make it seem like it's helping you. You get a 400% X bonus to your XP when doing stuff. Sounds good, right? No. It will scale the level of your mobs to your level while your gear falls behind, which makes it harder to do content and having to rely on whales to carry you. So it's not very good at allowing you to have a solo experience. So even if you, it sounds like, kind of like Genshin in that aspect of like, even if you're really good at the game to where you'd be able to navigate through it in such a way of like, you know, you're really good at dodges and parries and stuff like that, you might just not have the damage scaling necessary to progress in the game. 518 hours says, long story short, I don't recommend people to play this game. Even if you want to play, don't get too deep into it. The story is manageable for free to play and low spenders. But before I talk about the bad, let's talk about the good. The way you move and fight. It has a lot of diversity. You can do some pretty creative things about it. And speaking of creative, you can also create your own waifu or husbando. Okay, that was it. Now the bad. And then the bad is just like, flah, flah. They wrote a lot. Okay. I still just don't know how to feel about this game overall, and I guess really the answer would be just to try it, but I just don't know if it even appeals enough, because without knowing that it has a really satisfying gameplay loop or gameplay mechanics, like if it does play like a character spectacle fighter but is just a gacha filled MMO, like that would be okay with me, but I still can't lock that down. The game doesn't seem like it wants to communicate with me in terms of what you're doing and how it's going. It's just showing off beautiful worlds, beautiful environments, and attractive characters, and saying this is a world that you could exist in and characters that you could spend money towards, which is fine, but I want to know about how the game functions, and that's frustrating for me. But maybe someone will see this video and will be able to break it down for me. I had a lot of people in like the Wuthering Waves video be like, fuck you, you're wrong, here's how it works. And I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. I appreciate that a lot, actually. So that's Tower of Fantasy. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've been playing or did play Tower of Fantasy, please, for the love of God, drop some details down below. And to anyone that is watching the video at this point, because I know this video is like 30 minutes long, thank you. Appreciate you a lot. You're fantastic and great. Love your face. But yeah, so let me know if you've not touched Tower of Fantasy, but you're a fan of Genshin Impact. How do you feel looking at it? If you've been playing something else like Punishing Gray Raven or Honkai Star Rail, where is this sitting in your interest levels? Let me know. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, a couple good places to do so are Discord and Twitter, but I am now also on Threads and Blue Sky, so pick your poison and just at me, and let's have a conversation about whatever is happening here. Otherwise, if you want to join us on stream, we do stream on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you, and enjoy.